But speaking of coaching, the New York Knicks, champ, it's being reported that they're not interested in Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, it's also been reported. Did Shams Charania reported it that he's not interested in going to the Minnesota Timberwolves?
To my knowledge, yes, but let me make sure. I don't want
Okay.
to say anything wrong on the air.
Yeah, and if we misspoke again, audience, we apologize. Champ and I apologize because we just want to make sure that we're factual. Champ,
Yes,
to me, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm looking it up right now. Minnesota Timberwolves. Let me
Yeah,
see.
champ, to me, the Knicks, man. Unless you told me you were going to find the right type of head coach to replace Tom Thibodeau after the job he's done with the New York Knicks for the past now 5 years, they should have kept him. You've made the Eastern Conference. This is your first time you've been to the Eastern Conference Finals since 2000. Um, you've had back-to-back seasons of 50 wins or more. I mean, you've done a damn good job. You're making New York Knicks fans excited, proud. You're giving more of a reason for people to go to the Garden, considering who the owner is in James Dolan. I'm sorry, but hey, it's the facts. I mean, throughout his stewardship, Dolan has been a train wreck. I mean, at one point, who was a worse owner? There was him and Dan Snyder of my Washington Commanders. I mean, they're right up there. I mean, ironically and coincidentally, they both owned their franchises since 1999. But when you look at James Dolan and you look at the job Leon Rose has done, James Dolan, I will give him credit. The thing that he has done is he has allowed Leon Rose and others to do the job. Meanwhile, stay out the way, not put the Knicks in the news for all the wrong reasons, such as banning fans from the Garden or kicking lifelong New York Knicks legends like Charles Oakley out of the Garden, or the situation with Spike Lee, as you mentioned, Champ, regarding the I don't know regarding the seat situation or the escort or whatever.
Yes.
They have to get it right with a head coach. It's been reported. It was reported that they tried to get Jason Kidd. I think it was their way of trying to get Giannis because of J Kidd's and Giannis' relationship back to their days in Milwaukee. It's been denied. It's been reported that it's been denied. They tried Ime Udoka. Houston wasn't going to let Ime Udoka walk out the door. Not after the job he did with the Houston Rockets this year, taking them to the second seed, although they lost in the first round to the Golden State Warriors. Still no shame because the Golden State Warriors are a more advanced, sophisticated team compared to Houston. So Houston wasn't going to let him go. But you got Michael Malone, who's fresh off from winning a championship. And with the Knicks saying that they don't want KD, could it be because, okay, I get it, Kevin Durant is 37 years old, but at the same time, you wanted him back in 2019 in free agency, but KD and Kyrie decided to go to Brooklyn. Now, at the time, I didn't have a problem with it because Brooklyn made the playoffs the previous year. Brooklyn was a young ascending team with the GM Sean Marks, the head coach Kenny Atkinson. You look at Dolan throughout his stewardship, the closest thing he's had to a superstar champ, you got to go back to Amari Stoudemire in 2010. And that was overshadowed because of the big three with LeBron and Wade and Bosh. So when you look at the New York Knicks, would it be nice to have a Kevin Durant on the team? Sure, but who would you have to give up? You're going to have to give up somebody. You're going to have to give up Cat. You're not giving up Jalen Brunson. And my thing is, if you're saying you don't want Kevin Durant at this juncture because 37 years old, okay, fine. And we've seen the past couple of years with the injuries, and even though he could still play, but all right, fine. We got no problem with it. But I think with the New York Knicks, they better get a head coach because this is as open in the East as possible. Why not get Michael Malone? Why not get a coach who's won a championship? It just seems to me, champ, with the New York Knicks, when they're taking two steps forward, it seems like they're being set back. And as long as Jim Dolan is the owner of the New York Knicks, this is as far as they can go. And the New York Knicks, they overachieved with Thibodeau. Like I said before, unless they I felt like they should have let go of Thibs. Okay, Thibs is known for running players into the ground. Thibs didn't make the necessary adjustments in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Indiana Pacers. And of course, you alluded to this, player empowerment, players having too much empowerment. But if you let him go, who are you going to find? And it seems like to me with the Knicks, it's Leary. There's some good coaches out there. Budenholzer, Malone, they've won championships. But and I understand that the coaches are getting fired like crazy. It's like rice getting thrown at a wedding. But is it because of that? Or is it because of Jim Dolan? You got to ask yourself that question.
Yes, and I really look, New York. Stop being stubborn. Stop trying to grab everybody else's coach. Mike Malone is out there. He's a championship coach. Go get him. It's as simple as that. Or if you want Coach Budenholzer, he's a championship coach. Go get him. But you trying to make all of these splashes in the press, trying to be Jerry Jones-esque of the NBA, that's not going to work. I'm not giving up my coach if I'm the Houston Rockets. I'm not giving up my coach if I am the Dallas Mavericks. I'm not giving up any coach at this point. Coaching is already becoming a civic joke when it comes to the NBA. Because guess what? When you win a championship, it's no longer sacred ground anymore. Because when players start complaining, coaches are gone. It used to be that was a rarity. Now that's the norm. So go out there and get Mike Malone. Let it go. I mean, hey, you have at least the thing that you can sell to the New York market and the New York Knicks fans is this. This is a coach that we know has won. This is a coach we know has won. Made it to the playoffs several times. Made it to a conference finals. Coach, a 3-time league MVP. Could have been a 4th one this year. And it would help, in my humble opinion, with the development of Cat as well, to even expand more of his game. Stop with all of this trying to be Jerry Jones-esque in the NBA. You're not that, You're not that, James Dolan. You're not that. As far as player empowerment, it's gone a little bit too far because guess what? You know, we've seen coaches get fired because of players before. We saw Magic Johnson in the Paul Westhead firing. We saw that. We saw a lot of other things prior to this. You know, we saw Carmelo Anthony. We saw George Karl probably get fired before he could even step on the floor with the Sacramento Kings. You know, you saw that debacle.
Him and Boogie Cousins, yeah.
And yeah, that was Boogie still getting in trouble. So you know, Boogie still getting in trouble. So you know, I'll let the people decide on whose fault that is. But I digress. But New York, just go out there and get Coach Mike Malone. Go out there and get Coach Mike Malone. Stop being stubborn. Enough's enough. Stop trying to trade for coaches. It's not going to happen. Because I'm not giving up Ime Udoka if I am the Houston Rockets. You might as well hang that up. You got a better chance of buying a 12-pack of Hot Pockets at a gas station. It's not going to happen. You have a better chance of buying a 12-pack of Hot Pockets at the gas station at midnight at night in Columbus, Georgia, than getting Ime Udoka. That's your chances. It's not going to happen. So what you need to do is you need to go out there and get Mike Malone, stop BSing around, and go ahead and get you a championship coach who's already on the market. You ain't got to trade for nobody. You ain't got to give up no more draft capital. You don't have to give up anything. Just go out there and get him. As far as not wanting Kevin Durant, I do not blame him because guess what? You can't be the final piece on the championship team again. And I'm not trying to give up a lot of draft capital in order to get you at this point. and you're
Right.
37. Not to mention, I don't know the chemistry of this team and how it's going to be with you. As we saw, the last two teams you've been on, it really hasn't worked out outside of the Golden State Warriors. The chemistry of the team has been off. There's been a lot of offense, no defense. I have to ask myself what key piece that I'm going to give up this time in order to get you. And is it going to be a lot of cooks in the kitchens as far as, scoring is concerned? We've seen teams that have been on the championship level and have made a trade for a scorer, but guess what? Because they got that scorer, it's too many cooks in the kitchen. We saw that with the late 90s Houston Rockets. They made the trade for Charles Barkley, and they wanted a big three with Drexler, Elijah Wan, and Clyde. But there was too many scorers in the kitchen and not enough role players, and there's only one ball to go around. Now, granted, they made it to the Western Conference Finals where they eventually fell to the Utah Jazz, but it was too many cooks in the kitchen at that point. Too many. So go out there, do the right thing, get Mike Malone, stop trying to create these press clippings because ain't nobody in their right mind finna give up a good coach right now where coaching is a civic joke in order to give it to New York, especially James Dolan.
All I'm gonna say this: if they screw this up, New York Knicks fans, they're still gonna support their team, but they're gonna be furious because the East is wide open. We're back. We're relevant again because I told you, champ, it was supposed to be Brooklyn that was supposed to be the face for basketball in New York with KD, Kyrie, and then later on James Harden. The Knicks, and if you're James Dolan, you are lucky as hell. Because to be honest with you, champ, the past 20 plus years since you've owned this team has been a train wreck. Again, the Allen Houston signing, okay, the $100 million contract. You let go of Marv Albert because he gave constructive criticism of the team. You made all these moves. You banned fans from the arena because they told you sell the team because under your stewardship, the Knicks have been a disaster. Again, Charles Oakley, kicking Charles Oakley. The situation with Spike Lee. Of all people, you're going to get into an issue with Spike Lee, given the fact that he's been there for you, supporting the team, marketing the team through thick and thin. Of course, we're not going to get into the whole details, but we all know the situation with Anuka Brown Sanders.
And Isaiah Thomas, the whole Larry Brown experiment when he tried to bring Larry Brown to New York with Stephon Marbury, who eventually went to China.
How'd that work out?
It didn't. So you need to sit down. So that's just the bottom line. You need to find a coach and you need to find them fast. And you need to go ahead and hire Mike Malone and stop being stubborn. I don't know what Mike Malone did, but you need to figure that out.
And plus, let's not forget, champ, because I hate to do this because you are a Lakers fan. They brought in Phil. And how'd that work out in New York?
That was a disaster of epical proportions. That was a man I have never seen. And everybody was smart enough to realize that the reason that Phil Jackson succeeded in his last stops was because he had a hell of a general manager that he clashed with. And so when you clash with Jerry Krause, that's one thing. But when you clash with Jerry West, who not only built the Lakers in the 80s, but in the late 90s was able to get Shaquille O'Neal signed and draft Kobe Bryant, and you clash with him as well, you got to look back at that Jerry Krause beef and ask who was really the problem. Because who didn't? Shaq loved Jerry West. Kobe loved Jerry West. Players around the Lakers loved Jerry West. Not to mention, he left the Lakers and built the Memphis Grizzlies. He built the Memphis Grizzlies. Then went on to help finish off the building of the Golden State Warriors. Remember this. Think about how different history would have been if that Kevin Love trade happens for Klay Thompson and Harrison Barnes. Think about how different history would have been. You know why that trade didn't happen? Because Jerry West stepped in and said, if you trade Klay Thompson, I'm quitting today. So think about how different that would have been. You built 3 dynasties, and then you helped build an up-and-coming Memphis Grizzlies team. But yet Phil didn't get along with neither one of his general managers. So there needs to be a lot of revisitation of the Jerry Krause beef, if you ask me. But as far as James Dolan, sit down. It's time. In the great words of Cedric the Entertainer, ain't no more. It's time. Go get Mike Malone. Stop trying to make these big splashes. It's not going to happen. And move on. That's what it needs to be.
I hope James Dolan's not paying attention to you because, again, we don't expect James Dolan to watch our show anyway. But all I'm going to say is with the New York Knicks, man, don't screw this up. You have something special and capitalize it because, again, if you screw this up, ain't no way you're going to come back. Time's the one thing you can never recapture. And Michael Malone should be the head coach, or Mike Budenholzer, or some quality head coach that can gel with the team. But with the Knicks, they're trying to. I mean, again, Tibbs did a hell of a job. Give him his due. And I understand you wanted to let him go because running players under the ground. And I also understand the lack of adjustments. But unless you were going to find the right type of head coach, could you have thought about keeping him? Especially given what he's done for the Knicks? Gotta ask yourself that question.